Hi, welcome to Homesteading Around the Mission.
Good morning from our mission home in Guyana, South America. We are doing a series of videos on some of the things we do around our homestead here on the mission. We're currently at our house, which is on the airstrip, and today we are working on flaxseed heating bags. So we have a couple things that we want to share with you on how we do these heating bags. And the first is why we choose flaxseed. We do flaxseed because the flaxseed is actually a flower seed which holds the oil longer, so it will stay hot up to, I think it's double the time that the rice or the corn will stay hot. So we like to use that, and it's also more comfortable when it gets in the finished product. The things that you will need to start with are your scissors. We have a tape measure, but a ruler would probably be most handy, but here in the mission field, this is what we could get a hold of right now. We have our iron from back in the States that we brought with us, and we have our fabric. So if you can take a look, you can have all kinds of varying fabrics to do your heating bags, but particularly, if we'll come closer, what we really like is some of the upholstery fabric, which is a thicker fabric. It will hold the heat longer, and overall it just looks nicer for the heating bags. So we're going to start off with ironing our fabric that we've chosen, and this is the pattern we're going to start with, the red one here. This is the one we'll show you. The red on top is basically just a pattern of the size that we want, which is cut to an 11 by 6, which is a good size for wrapping around your neck or on your lower back if it hurts, or even on your feet when you're cold at night. Of course, in Guyana we don't get cold, so that's not really a use here. These would be more for our aches and pains, but we are planning to bring these to the States with us, where we hopefully we'll be selling these at some craft fairs while we have to go back and deal with some visa issues. Now we have finished ironing our pattern. The thing you want to remember when you're ironing is you're just looking to get the creases out so that you have a nice smooth fabric once it's time to sew. The next step is going to be first, here in our mission we don't have a lot of electricity, so the first step for us is to disconnect the iron so it doesn't run down our solar panels. But for others of you that have plenty of electricity, not a step. What we want to do is mark your fabric, and we're going to mark it with the guide that we made. This was the fabric that we're not too concerned with, but we're using it as a guide, and we want to flip over the good fabric to the back side, and we're going to use a pencil, not a marker or a Sharpie, because that would bleed through the fabric. But we're going to use a pencil and make a rough outline. So what we're going to do is outline very lightly. And it doesn't have to be super exact because the edges are going to be sewn inside out. So you just want a light marking so that you can come back and cut this. So what we would do, I won't do it for sake of time, but what we would do is we would go ahead and mark out as many of these as we could. But for now, we're just going to do the one and show you the one cut, which would have been this one right here. And we're going to cut it out. Again, this is an 11 by 6. You can also do many other sizes. We've done square ones. We've done some that are a good bit larger for, say, the whole back. But this one is just an all-around good size. So here is the fabric, which is going to match this right here. So that was our guide, the red one. And this will be the front of our rice heating bag. Now what we like to do is we like to mix and match. So this is going to be the back of this particular pattern. So we're going to cut a match that will fit on the back side of this, and then we're going to sew the two together. Here's an example of multiple patterns on one piece of fabric. This is going to be the back of this particular flax bag. So you can see here we went ahead with our guide and did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we just wanted to show you these outlines, and then we'll come and we'll cut them out each individually. Now we have our final patterns. We've cut quite a few of each different design, and we have the fronts are the decorative patterns, and then we had some upholstery fabric that we found at Walmart on sale in a dark color and a tan color. So these will actually be the backs of the patterns. You can also do it where you just fold your one pattern and have it front and back. We like to do them where they're a little more sturdy with the upholstery backing on the designs. So what we'll do, for instance, is we will take, this will be one that we're working on. We're going to take the front pattern and it will be matched. So in the final product after we sew it, it'll look like this front and back. But to sew it, we'll take the pencil side and the side we don't want out. They'll both be facing, for sewing purposes, outside. And then we're going to sew, actually my son is going to sew 3 sides all the way up to the 4th side. And then we're going to come over just a little bit and leave a hole. And at that point, we will flip them inside out so that you have your final product. And we will take a funnel and put the flaxseed down into the bag. We're ready now to show you how this is going to be sewn together. We have our pattern, but we're going to have it inside out for the sewing portion of this. Later we'll flip it after we've sewn the 3.5 sides. We're going to start on the long edge and sew down, keeping the needle here at the corner, around to the bottom and up the 3rd side, and then coming over at the top. This is where we'll eventually close it, but we're going to leave this portion open to put in flax through a funnel. Our son Jackson's going to show you the sewing portion of this.
Hi. So when you start sewing, you need to keep the needle 3/8 of an inch in from the edge. You just start the needle in. You got to backtrack. Keep the needle in on the corners. And you go about halfway and you take the needle out, pull it out, and snip that's it.
So we're going to cut the corners to cut the bulk. You don't have to do this, but this is something we like to do to cut down the bulk once the pattern is finally done and flipped inside out.
We have started another flax bag now, but we want to show you how to flip it inside out. So first you get your fingers right on the edges and you kind of push them underneath. And you just feed it through till you've got everything in through that little hole. And you just start pulling it out through that hole. And you pull the corners out. A little bit of work to get the corners. Feed it out. But you have to pick them out with your fingernails to get them nice and straight.
All right, Now, where would you feed the flax in?
You'd put it right in through this hole up here through a funnel. That's why you leave the hole open. And then you're gonna sew it closed. You're gonna
Once
tuck
the
it under.
flax is completely in there, and we're probably gonna fill these up about halfway, then he's gonna come back and sew that last
Just a little bit on the edge,
edge.
right across.
There you have it. So now we've got our bags sewn, and we've got our fronts and our backs with our hole here left open. And if you can look in this bag, we have our flax seed, and we're going to take, well, ideally we would have a funnel, but we don't have one. We've made it to the States to work on our visas, and we're not working with what we normally have, so we don't have the funnel, but we're going to take and pour the flax seed into the bag until you have it full enough that it's comfortable, but not so full that it wouldn't be useful. You want to be able to place it on your shoulder or around your neck. So now you've got the filled bag, but we're going to finish sewing the last bit. This is the opening that we had left that we inserted the flax in. You can see right here, this was the pre-sewn side, and now Jackson is going to go ahead and sew this. You just make sure that it stays lined up and straight all the way down, and it goes all the way to the end, and then it reverses and backtracks to make sure it's secure so that none of the flax comes out. And at the end of that, all you have to do is make sure you cut all excess thread, and you are done. There is your sewn, finished flaxseed with all parts cut off. And you hold that up, Jackson. There we go. This is a different one than we were looking at earlier, but that is the finished flax bag.